Okay, my question to you is, can we talk about the benefits of honey? Because there's so many misconceptions out there. So can we talk about the positive benefits of honey?
Well, there's two important things when you purchase honey. One, you want the label to say that it's 100% pure. 100%. If it just says pure, it can be up to 80-90% corn syrup. And then the other thing you want is that it says it's raw. Any honey that's not on the label that says raw, more than likely 99.9% came from overseas. Anything that comes outside of the United States, in the United States, they pasteurize it. And they cook it, and basically what that does is it kills all the live enzymes and all the benefits to the raw honey, and it really doesn't have any health effect at all. It's just a sweetener thing.
Okay, Amber, you're like one of the best people here who can basically tell us a little bit about the honey, bottling of the honey and the bee pollen and exactly what you do, because so many people just, there's a misconception or perception about honey. So just tell us a little bit about what you know.
Yes, ma'am. Well, we start from the hives here. We go out to the yards, beekeep, and we bring back the honey boxes. We usually harvest in the late summer, early fall. We have two different kinds of honey we harvest. Our fall crop is our sourwood honey, and our spring crop is our wildflower, which is all the wildflowers around our surrounding farms put together. And we bring it back here, and I actually extract it here in this barn. I bring back the frames, I set them out. We dehydrate them for a while to make sure they're the right moisture level. The comb itself has to be below 18.2% moisture, or we can't extract it. It could ferment if we extracted it before then.
Okay.
So we like to see a nice white cap on the comb. We actually pop each of these little caps off to extract out the honey. We put it into our machine, and I slide down the frames, and it'll sling the honey on the outsides of the machine, and it filters down into a small filtered bucket, and then I just pour it right into we have big gallon drums that we use, and then I filter it from there right into these jars. So nothing's added to it, it's pure right from the farm. All I do is extract out any debris, any bee wings that got caught in the comb or anything like that, and all the wax pieces, and we actually save the wax for making candles. And our two types of honey, they're both beneficial for allergies. The sourwood's a little bit sweeter, I noticed. It's a little bit dessert-like. It's a little bit better on pancakes, I think.
Sign me up for that one.
But the wildflower is just as great for teas, cooking, all that stuff. You want to take a tablespoon a day at least if you have allergies. It's shown to prove that we have doctors that actually ask our customers to come see us at the markets, to come check out our honey. Since it's raw and local, you want to live within about 50 miles of your local beekeeper where you're getting honey from. So it'll be most beneficial to your local flora. We bottle in all different sizes to make it easier for whatever your needs are. We have glass, we have plastic, that easy pour spouts, we have squeeze bottles, we have fun little designs for the kids. We even got gallons, which is 12 pounds of honey. So that's a lot, but it's the best deal, because if you cook with a lot, eat with a lot, that's better for you. And we also have our pollen here too. The bees get this on their legs when they go visit the flowers. Each pellet is a different color, comes from a different flower. Some are bitter, some are sweet, but you can eat this as is. It'll dissolve on your tongue. You want to try 6 to 8 pellets to start with, because it's full of your vitamin B's and has amino acids. It's the highest form of protein in a single serving food. But it's great for energy, great for arthritis, great for inflammation. It has hundreds of benefits, and this little superfood right here is amazing.
Well, what I want to say is, first of all, your bee pollen is going to get me fired, okay? Because I've tried different bee pollens, and I'm just like, but taking a little bit of your bee pollen, I'm bouncing off the walls. Someone actually had the balls to ask me, did I have ADD? Because it just gives me energy, because I do a lot. So I can definitely swear by your honey and swear by your bee pollen, because it actually works, gives you energy and things like that. So a question I have to ask you is, what made you want to do this? And not only do it, I can tell that you love it. So what made you want to, you applied for the job and you didn't run. You're like, I'm kind of digging this. What's the feeling about this?
I actually was afraid of bees, afraid of them. I didn't want to be around them, didn't want them near my body. And I ended up being one of the beekeepers here after all, after I visited a farm and I tasted the honey, and I didn't know anything about honey. I didn't know the difference between a shelf honey from a store and one from a farm. I didn't know that there were differences. The scientific benefits from the honey and the pollen, I was blown away. I did not know how many health benefits there could be. So when I came in here and I started bottling and I learned all these facts about it, I got excited. I got excited to learn where did it come from, how did they make it, how did they produce it. I don't understand how a bee can put it in a little cell. How do we extract that? So I went out to the yards with Brian. He showed me all about it, and I was extremely excited, and I got over my fear of bees.
We start with around like 25-pound blocks of beeswax. We load them into this, heat them overnight. We filter all of the dirt out, and then we lay out all of the molds that we need at the time. So we just go through our inventory, see what we're low on. So we have them all set out. We spray them with silicone so that it doesn't get stuck, because that is a pain when that happens. So we have a hole through most of them. Some of them are a little bit different, but that's where we put the wick. We use a dowel like this to hold the wick. Rubber bands to keep it from seeping out of the side. So we take the rubber bands down. We have it cut in some different places. And then just weasel it out. And then I would just clip the wick a little bit at the top, all the way at the bottom. Take it over to the stove and flatten it just to make sure that it sits completely upright. And then that's it.
One of the things that we do is we actually dot the queen. You'll notice she has a red dot painted on her back. That is so that we can actually track how old they are. When they're first born, they go on their mating flight, they come back, and then they start laying the eggs. And once they start laying the eggs, then we put a dot on their back, and that tells us the dot corresponds to what year the queen was born in. And it's a 5-year rotation. It's usually 5 different colors that we use. And it's a national code. All beekeepers use it. Each color corresponds to each year. One of the things that a lot of people don't understand about honeybees, I mean, they just think that they're another insect along with everything else.
Right.
And you were talking about how everything is tied together. If the bees ever became extinct in the world, the honeybees, man would die within 7 years.
Why?
I mean, because we depend on the bees not just for honey and pollen. That's what byproducts that we get from the bees, but the bees pollinate the flowers and the trees, and they make the seeds. And what do we get from trees and flowers? We get oxygen from the leaves and stuff. And then a lot of our medicines are derived. Cotton is pollinated by the bees. All our fruits and vegetables, our nuts, our grains, our alfalfa that we feed to the cattle, all that would disappear. I mean, and we would be in a huge crisis. And so that's why there's such a big push to get these pesticides off the market and to target them and that if they are used, that they're properly used at the right times and things like that. I mean, I as a beekeeper, I understand that you have a nice lawn and you want to protect it, take care of it, but if you're going to spray a poison on it to kill weeds and stuff, do it at night. At 7, 8 o'clock at night is the best time to do that. The bees are all coming back home to rest for the night. You put the application of the pesticide or herbicide, whatever, on the dandelions. The flowers will wither up and fall over in the night, and then there's no reason for the bee to go to the flower, because they'll be withered up and falling over by the next morning. We actually won first place at the National Convention in 2016. It's the ABF, it's the National Beekeepers Association. We won first place with our honey there. And that's how the buyer with Bed Bath & Beyond found out about us and picked us up, and we've been in all of their 42 stores here in Georgia.
So they're in Bed Bath & Beyond, all 42 stores in Georgia. Now, when I tell you I bring you quality people, he won an award for honey. Come on now. If you want to go on their website, it's Atlanta's, Atlants hometownhoney.com. Put your zip code in. Make sure it'll direct you to where you can get their honey. Their honey is raw. It's a no-kill bee honey. No, let me repeat this again. Let me come a little closer. They don't kill the bees. Can you hear what I'm saying? They don't kill the bees. So again, Mr. Brian Higgins, have a honey of a day.